So the script for episode 2 is done. What does that mean and what's on schedule for the week? Chris here for Cosmic Rage, bringing you another production update. First off, I'm going to be working on getting everything back in order since Anime Fest and the holiday weekend, just getting things back on schedule with my production updates being out on Monday, other content coming out on Wednesday, and then some animation on social media platforms on Tuesday and Thursday and weekends and such. But one of the things I wrapped up this past week, before I get into the script, is I wrapped up one of the freelance projects that I kind of mentioned that I was working on. And the reason that I want to kind of talk about those freelance projects a little bit is because those help provide funding for Cosmic Rage. So the time that I spend away from the project gets reinvested back into the project. So there's a purpose for doing those. The project that I recently finished up, that money is going to go towards, or went to, updating my 3D program, which is on a yearly license. So I use Maxon Cinema 4D, which just recently updated to version 19. I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. I just got it updated last week. Like I said, they just released it, so I haven't had a chance to really play around with it yet. But looking forward to doing that. But yeah, the big news of the week is I feel like I'm at a point with Script 2 that I'm able to say that the text version's done. So you guys might be wondering, like, what exactly does that mean? And that means that I feel like I fleshed out the story enough. I have the characters going the way that I want them to. I have emotions figured out, dialogues figured out, that basically everything's kind of in place in text format that I feel comfortable enough that I can transition into translating that text into visuals. So there will probably still be some tweaking that goes on in the script. That's just kind of what happens with these kinds of things as you start fleshing out the visuals. So I'll be sure to, kind of share that stuff with you guys. But the text version of the script, like I said, is done, and I'm ready to move into visuals. So that means that this next week, I'm going to be jumping into the storyboards for episode 2, working on shot compositions and kind of sketching out what I want to have animated in those scenes and things like that. And I'm going to share with you guys a lot of that process. So because storyboarding is one of my favorite things, and that's really kind of the first crack at the story really coming to life. So all right, so what else do I have going on? This week I'll be working on kind of refreshing one of my panels for a one-day convention in South Dakota here. It's the first one-day convention I've been to in quite a while, because the last one they had just happened to be Anime Fest when I was down there, and yeah, it has really been long overdue. So I'm looking forward to meeting some of the people that I don't quite get to see a lot locally, talking animation with them, talking Cosmic Rage, and things like that. So it should be a lot of fun, and I know it's going to be. So what else is going on? This week I'm gonna also be working on revamping my Patreon page, and I know I've talked a little bit about that in the past, and I obviously haven't done anything if you've checked out the Patreon site in terms of that revamping, but I felt like I needed to be at a point where I had something to start, and that was episode 2 script, right? I didn't want to talk animation and script writing and storyboarding and things like that when I wasn't necessarily working on a project, when there's still a lot of traveling to conventions and promoting, and also writing and such going on too. So that's going to be happening this week. That's something, like I said, I've talked about, and I'm going to get it done this week. So I look forward to kind of the new platform, which is going to have, or I shouldn't say new platform, just kind of new structure of how I'm going to do things. Because it was kind of tough doing it before when episode 1 was kind of so far in. And it felt like all the stuff that I would have been talking about would have been kind of backtracking for what I did. So my goal with episode 2 is to really bring you guys along on my journey for the second episode, and just kind of go over stuff with you guys, and you can, I can talk about these things and explain kind of what's going on and my process, and you guys can see how those things come from, an idea, and how that kind of gets fleshed through the process. And like I said before, I felt like I would have just been backtracking a lot. So I didn't want to do that. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. On that same note, I'm going to have a video out later this week where I'm just going to do kind of a breakdown of my approach for script writing and what I did for episode 1. I'm not going to get too much into the weeds about the actual content of, or I should say episode 2, sorry. I'm not going to get into a lot of the weeds of episode 2's content, but I want to talk about the process in case you guys are working on scripts of your own and maybe need some help. Maybe just need some pointers on how to get started and things like that. So I'm really excited to do that because I've wanted to do some educational stuff for a long time. This gives me a chance to do that, like I said, and show you guys actual examples and things along those lines. So yeah, it looks like that's all I kind of have in my notes for what I want to get done this week and what I got done last week. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and checking out the project. And I'm really excited to start episode 2 and to bring you guys along on that journey as well. So again, like usual, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.